welcome to the Cozy Cloud. If you are joining me for the first time, welcome. This is the coziest place on the internet, and I am very glad you are here. I recently went to my very first Ren Faire, and to say I had an amazing time is completely an understatement. It was everything I thought it would be, and it was more. It was just so incredibly fun, and I really, really loved all the different experiences I had. And you might be wondering like, oh, like, what do you mean? You just went, like, did you just go to a fair and then come back? No, there were so many things that happened during the fair and after the fair. And all in all, I am kind of rating and summarizing my experience for those of you who have not been, just so you can kind of get a little taste, like, is it worth it? Should I go? What can I expect? And that does vary on location, so I'll tell you which one I went to, and I will explain kind of what I expected versus what was actually there, different things like that. I really wanted to do an autumn fairy theme. To save a little bit of money, I ended up thrifting my belt, dress, and boots. I bought all of the attachments that go on my belt, and then I also bought the corset. I made the paper parasol using old decorations I already had. One of my favorite things that I did for the Ren Faire was create this custom autumn fairy flower leaf parasol. So I have it right here. I'm going to show you guys real quick. This is absolutely stunning. I love this thing. I got so many compliments on this guy right here. The base is basically like these autumn leaves, and then I have an assortment of flowers glued down over it. I filled in some areas with gold in between the leaves, and it turned out so cute. I got so many compliments for this guy. When I found out there was something called trinket trading, I started making all these little bottles. Let me show you some. I have some clips of me making them as well that I'll insert into the video. I picked up these little glass bottles and I put sand, glitter, beads, all sorts of things in them. And I started trading them with people just to get conversations going. I filled this little pouch with them. I don't even remember how many I made. I only have 5 left, and I bought like probably 20 bottles. I would usually give them to individuals where I could tell that they took a lot of time and effort to put together their costume. They did face makeup, they had really cool accessories, just different people who I was like, wow, these people are so sweet. I want to go talk to them. I did get some trinkets back, and I did get offered trinkets first. So I want to show you guys what I got. I got 3 at my first Ren Faire, and I'm really excited. The very first trinket I got was this chip, but this chip has a QR code on the back that I will be scanning to kind of see what it leads to. Maybe it was another content creator. Really cool. The second trinket I got probably is my favorite so far out of my collection, and you guys are gonna see why. Look how perfect this is. It says moon dust on it. And like, look how stunning this is. It's like a glitter charcoal black dusty substance. It's so gorgeous. I love it. I just love it. Super excited to get this. The last trinket I got was this tiny cute, look at this guy. Hang on. It's a frog and he's so cute. Oh my gosh, I was so excited when I got him. If you're new to the Ren Faire scene and maybe you went already and you just didn't make trinkets or you've never made trinkets before, I promise you there are so many different ways to like save money and find stuff at like Dollar General and different things to where it really isn't like cutting into your budget too much to make these little guys. One suggestion I would give you is to get dressed at the Ren Faire. Do not wear your entire outfit with all your accessories in the car ride over. It is miserable. Tip number 2 is to pack the essentials. Make sure you bring some type of container to refill on water, as well as a fan because it does get hot, especially in all the layers. Tip number 3 is support and participate. Make time for the different performances being put on for you. It will make it way more fun. Let's talk about the many, many wonderful small businesses and small vendors that were at the Renaissance Faire. The amount of people there who are passionate about their craft and passionate about their business and just open their own little stores was absolutely incredible. I did buy a couple things and I wanted to share some of those things with you guys today. The first item up is this dagger. It is obviously, if you are a big Lord of the Rings fan, this is a version of Sting. I already have a larger version of this, but I absolutely adored this in this shop that was very close to the front of the fair. It was one of the first shops my husband and I stopped at. And I just want to show you, let's get the glare off of here. It was very, very cute. And they had an assortment of knives, but I really liked this green color. And if you saw my costume in one of the earlier chapters, obviously I dressed up as more of an autumn fairy. So I just felt like the green was so, so pretty. And obviously I was like, that is so cute. And I really like the size. See if I can. And I was like, maybe it's not tiny enough to be like a letter opener, but if I ever want to use this for like a Ren Faire outfit in the future, I thought this was perfect because it's very small, it's lightweight. It's also, I mean, it's lightweight, but it's definitely like heavy duty. It's not flimsy in any way. This guy had to go back in his box when I bought it, and they shut the box and they taped it shut. And the reason they do this is because you can buy weapons there, but they have to be packaged and taped up. Or if you have a weapon that's part of your costume, they have to do something called piece tying it. That's basically where they kind of zip tie it so you can't open it. Like if you bring a sword, you can bring a sword, but it has to be in a sheath so they can piece tie it. So basically you don't have access to the sharp part. As I was walking around, the second vendor I stopped at, she had, I'll insert a clip, but she had these beautiful like elf earring cuffs. I almost bought this gold earring cuff, but it only came as a single and not in a pair. And I was so bummed out because I was literally about to buy it and I was like, shoot. But then I kept looking and she had this huge like bowl with tons of stickers in it. She was so incredibly sweet. I bought some stickers for my vision board. So I'll just show you some of the stickers. They were really pretty. So we have this beautiful butterfly. I found, it was really cool because they were all kind of mixed together, but I found this really cool looking dragon. So I had to get a blue dragon as well. Some blue flowers with some details around them. A feather, very cool. She packaged everything in this super cute bag. Very sweet, very nice person, individual. Loved those items. This bag contains probably one of my favorite items that I'm very, very excited to get tons of use out of. These are earrings, but they are D&D specific. If you guys have ever played Dungeons and Dragons, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, it's a role-playing game. It's quite enjoyable. I bought these D&D earrings because, as you guys know, I am the Cozy Cloud, and these earrings not only are the colors of my brand, but they had a cloud symbol on them. So these are absolutely stunning, so perfect, and these are D8 dice. I will be wearing these at many of my D&D sessions coming up, so I'm very excited about these. The sellers of these dice were Third Watch Dice. That's the name of the business. Very kind individuals. Their logo is so cute. It is 2 butterflies and a moon, which is, I just felt like it was a sign because obviously my profile picture, I have 2 butterflies in my hair. And then my, the Cozy Cloud like branding and different things, it's clouds with a little crescent moon and a bunch of stars and like blues and purples. So I just thought that was so cool that I found this vendor that's so close to my brand. I thought that was really cool. They had tons of other colors, tons of other designs. They sold a ton of things. They're on Instagram and TikTok and probably some other platforms, so go check them out if you have time. The last vendor we stopped at was right before the Ren Faire was about to close. It was almost 6, and we came across another D&D specific vendor. Obviously you guys can see a pattern and kind of the stuff that kind of stands out to me, basically weapons and D&D stuff. So, we stopped and I had to buy these stickers. I'm going to give these to people in my D&D group, and they are the different D&D classes. So rogue, sorcerer, paladin, And then they do have a sticker in the middle for the DM, which I'm really excited about because I'm going to cut these up and give them to my the group I'm in. The vendor is called Diversity, and I thought that name was quite endearing, and they gave me a free sticker. Look how cute it is. They had tons of D&D stuff. They even had hand-painted 3D printed dice towers, and they were just gorgeous. So very talented individuals. Final thoughts for the Renaissance Faire all-in-one experience that I had, from the beginning of it to, you know, hearing about it, planning out the date, finding my outfit, thrifting the items, buying some new items, making a parasol from items I already had, picking out a makeup look, going to the Ren Faire, visiting all the vendors, trying the food there, watching some of the events there, buying some really cool items, and then leaving. I would rate it 10 out of 10. And I'm not just saying that because I'm like trying to be a positive person. This experience truly blew my mind, and it just was so much more fun than going to a regular fair. If you love fantasy like me, it's absolutely a safe space to just let your fantasy come out and just be creative and create things and create happiness and have interactions with other individuals that you normally would never speak to or talk to. And as a content creator who's kind of taking off on this journey, I just found it so enjoyable and such a great way to meet people. I think when certain people get to adulthood, unless you have, you know, high school friends that you're still friends with, or you made really good lifelong friends in college, you're kind of at a loss on how to start new friendships, especially if your interests shift a lot. I know for me personally, I don't feel like I've retained very many high school friends, and I certainly have not retained any college friends. With my journey on finding myself and finding what Sarah likes and what I love to do and what brings me joy and what are ways I can bring joy to others around me, this was just genuinely super special to me, and I had so much fun, and it was just the biggest encouragement to me that there are kind people and people are rooting for you, even if you don't know them. Thanks for joining me for this video. I had so much fun making this video, as well as all of the content that came out of this wonderful, wonderful experience and all the new people I met and connected with at this really cool Ren Faire. If you found this information helpful and you had fun watching this video and you want to continue to see whimsical fantasy cozy content, including cozy hobbies, etc., please join my community and hit that subscribe button. Remember, chase your happiness.